Gayatri Mantra. What is the power and the greatness of this Gayatri Mantra? Actually, it is Vasistha who has practiced it, attained to sadhana, and afterwards passed it on to Kausika the king. And Kausika became greater than Vasistha by attaining to the great sadhana, by chanting this mantra. And this Kausika is none else than Vishwamitra. And the greatness of Vishwamitra we know very well. And thereby you can understand the greatness of this Gayatri Mantra. But actually speaking, I could not understand this Gayatri Mantra at the very beginning, some time back, long time back. After a great and deep understanding, a study of this mantra, studying different books, consulting different thinkers and all that, even then I could not understand because their versions are of, in a different way. They have their own versions. Even today, Gayatri Mantra, see the interpretation of this mantra will be of various type by different thinkers or speakers. Anyway, I have learnt my own interpretation I have got. That is empirical knowledge. That means by experience, one's own experience, we will have the ultimate wisdom. This is what philosophers say. Of course, it is true also. So it is about nature, the power of nature and the beauty of nature, where we will get to the healing power and the spiritual power. Before knowing about the greatness of it, I would like to make reference to the just the central idea of this sloka, Budbhuva Swaha, Tat Saviturvarenyam, etc. The central idea is this: oh, creator of this universe and the creator of this knowledge and wisdom, ultimate knowledge and ultimate wisdom, and you are the embodiment of light and energy. I always meditate upon your radiance. What radiance? A divine radiance. And make me travel in a right path, in the best path. This is the central idea. Even if just we say about this central idea, nobody can understand thoroughly. What is this? They may believe it blindly, yes, it is the greatest mantra and all that, the most sublime and all that, they may be. But in fact, that is not the deeper layers of the meaning. That is the outer version. And for deeper understanding, we have to go deep. We have to search for it. And by my experience, I could understand like this. Now I am saying something about it. I would like to make a reference to pantheism. That means the belief of visualizing the divinity in the objects of nature, different objects. For example, sea, river, plants, trees, estates, woods, different beauties, different objects of nature. If you visualize divinity, God, through these objects, it means that is nothing but pantheism. So this pantheism has been advocated by the English romantic poet William Wordsworth. He says the greatness of nature and the divine power in the objects of nature. He talks to his sister Dorothy, because she has lost her husband. Always she was sitting at some corner with a melancholic mood. Then he suggested her, Dorothy, please come, accompany me to the woods, estates, forests and all. You enjoy the beauties of nature, how beautiful this nature, how comfort, what kind of great healing power they are giving to us. You just see and enjoy it. If you love human being, you may be deceived, you may be betrayed. But if you love the nature, that means the objects of nature, different objects of nature, you will not be deceived, betrayed. He says in a context in that Tintulabe poem, yes, my dear sister, nature never did betray the heart that loved her. If you love nature, definitely you will have some comfort, you will have some healing power, a divine power, spiritual power, so that you can sustain. So that divine power he will visualize in the different objects of nature. This is what Wordsworth says. Yes, of course it is real, because the farmers, they take pleasure, delight in enjoying the chill nature, the pleasant and the greenery, everything in the agriculture. Rivers, seas also, people depending upon the rivers and the seas, they say that it is a sea god power, healing power is there in that river or that sea waters. And forests also, Vanadevata they say. That means god of forest, god of gardens or forests, because they are completely depending upon, and they take a lot of divine power, healing power, pleasure, everything out of it. And these rivers, agriculture, seas, water, and plants, estates, all these are incarnations or representative, embodiments of God. And John Keats, another romantic poet, nature poet, John Keats, he says in another context, in his beautiful poetry, he says on observing the beauties of objects of nature, that is some carve, some sculpture or some art or painting, on seeing such beauties, he has been tempted like this. Oh, beauty is truth, and truth, beauty, that's all ye need to know on earth. Therein lies the truth of life. You have to enjoy the beauty. This is what he says. And he still more says in another context, in the same poem, that is greatly known, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. It will never come to nothingness. Still it keeps a buoyer quite for us. So, if you enjoy the beauties of nature, sculpture, painting, drum, or this sea, or anything for that matter, it will give you a fountain of joy, and there is no limit at all. There is no any ending. Always it will never come to nothingness, still keep a buoyer quite for us. That means always the everlasting pleasure you can get. John Keats says. So the power of nature is in such a way that we can get some healing power, comfort, and therein lies the divine power. This is what the nature poets say. And when we come to Shakespeare, number one dramatist in the world in English literature. So in King Lear, very beautiful drama, there he says, King Lear, believing in some two daughters, he deserted, sent out one daughter, last daughter, Cordelia. But finally what happened, he has been ill-treated by the two daughters, and he has been taking shelter in some worker who worked during his reign, during his administration. There he was staying, and he has been afflicted with all mental and physical ailments, suffering a lot on his deathbed, on the verge of deathbed. Then the worker went to Cordelia, that means King Lear's daughter, who was staying some far away. Then he said, "Dear Cordelia, your father's situation is like this. He is on the verge of death, afflicted with a lot of mental agony and also physical ailments and all." Then Cordelia immediately burst into tears, and she addresses the nature. "Oh, all unpublished virtues of the earth, all blessed creatures and unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears." That means this nature is the source for all happiness, pleasure, for our food. Yes, this land, the sky, the water, the rain, all these objects of nature will give us the food. They will give us the pleasure, happiness, and even the medicinal plants will be available only from from these beauties of nature. So this is what Cordelia says with regard to her father's agony. So here what is to be observed is that the power of nature has the divine power, the healing power. And now we shall come to Adi Shankaracharya, our Indian philosopher, he says the essence of life, the essence of attachment of life and spirituality is just in one sloka, and that is Satsangatve Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, etc. In that sloka, only four objects, four concepts he will say, and that is the first one is Satsangatya. That means very good friendship. You must make friends with a person who must be able to influence you, who has to chisel your heart and soul. Only with that person you have to make friends with. Very good friend. Next one is Nirmalatvam. That means you must have the pure mind and heart. And the next one is Nirmohatvam, free from tensions, free from anxieties, prejudices, revenge, all these ill thoughts, ill minds. And the last one is, if you possess these great three qualities, definitely you will have Nirmalatvam. Nichalatvam. Nichalatvam means serenity and tranquility. Once you attain to this serenity and tranquility, yes, you have attained to sadhana, the highest spiritual bliss, peace and bliss. That is sadhana. This is what Rabindranath Tagore also says in his valuable book, Sadhana. Once you have attained to that sadhana stage, yes, you will be above all isms. You will not be afflicted with pain, you will not be afflicted with prejudice, revenge, etc., etc. Best example I will tell you here itself from Vasishtha. Vasishtha, see, this Kausika or Vishwamitra demanded Kamadhenu from Vasishtha. Vasishtha denied it because that Kamadhenu will be useful only to the saint. It will be best utilized, he said. Vasishtha, he says like that. But Vishwamitra always he gets prejudiced and he develops revenge also towards Vasishtha. Out of that revenge, he killed, with the help of some other king of course, that Vishwamitra killed 100 sons of Vasishtha, and Vasishtha is left alone. Even then, he is not burst into emotion or revenge. Even he has not cursed. If he has cursed, he would become just like ash. Vishwamitra become ash. If Vasishtha has cursed, no, that kind of sadhana stage he has attained, Vasishtha has attained. So sadhana is a spiritual attainment. And what is powerful in the nature, the different objects of nature, the light, the energy, if we are able to observe it with the spiritual enlightenment, that is explosion of light, enlightenment within, with the help of the different objects of nature in the world. Different objects of nature, I have already told you, some forest, maybe some brook, maybe some sculpture or some painting, some art, different beautiful objects. That is beauty, and that truth is beauty, beauty is the truth. That is that's all you need to know on earth. So this we can achieve by our empirical knowledge. That means knowledge attained by experience, personal experience. And that experience we can have only when you are worshipping the different objects of nature, the attachment that you develop with the nature. So the attachment between man and nature will be in such a way that you can attain to sadhana way of life. That is the ultimate meaning of this Gayatri mantra and the secret of Gayatri mantra. This is what I have learned from this Gayatri mantra by empirical knowledge. Thank you very much. And if you are impressed, please subscribe and encourage me.